T4 ashefo ye mo bibiara kwa ba daily update TV so ene ne di kind of BP my channel no so I daily update. You see daily update today we give you the best abandon news papa dia for any chemo daily update na also sebeke bi na wajibi na wajipre na wahwebi. Now I think for DNS Kelvin Tylor now with all the respect what can say be say Dr. Kwaku Timba no kwabre MP no I was so resigning and as I resign Ojana kunya to because of a scandal wa bokron wa NYE wa bokron wa NAwe na just say scandal be appear na just say honorable involver with him such as by this time and yes Raj and Kano Cranka this girl have to be jealous into no Kevin Tylor just this MP honorable my fija kwabre no HSA or a jail candidate just say I was saying what Timmy Johnny Jumadi crowd to one or Timmy resign because of a year fresh scandal a year this honorable a year Dr. Kwaku Timba a year involved on. Now Miss Brennan, what are the scandals? Because an apprentice they about 70 trainer a Bema MP and just say on resigning and I say or berries on resigning it's a question for on resigning or new but Uncle was all resigning. Now a scandal be a Kelvin Tylor like a one NYA na just say was what bokro no sika sembi a akoso ho na just say a year honorable fija a year kwabre na just say anasa kwabre or no a year or involved we Miss Emily you move me go take Kelvin Tylor with all the respect and he say man no work angle or the free bar or better say was a polar dum orchard scandal no and amana kupa we nyina aboboma utim say na just enema koso suma say na just was say a year Dr. Kwaku Timba on deserve to be MP on deserve to be MP just there to shield his father intina yoko pim ye a year amanyo semwa or de kujina a year efija kwabre to man on it me say this news contains a lot nema power and also a she panjino because me say we break no ye moram ni nkuti Kelvin Tylor with all the respect in semana all king how true and any fatter no or the backy with this a year fresh scandal not all releasing no more. Yeah, me sure I daily update TV so we give you the best. Stay tuned. You could see and no embrace here. Maybe I try to find or share no like it. That's just Afro friends when you be here. Me sure stay tuned.
What Shraj came up with, they are clearly telling us that Paul Adumochu has committed a crime. Nancy and prosecute no. Yan fane ma attorney general say onjeli no. On fane ko jina court ni onjeli no. So technically, they are telling us say this foolish guy is a criminal. And so now by na also inti ebeka che say onko omde omonsa betwa ne nsa ho say ko men kodi boni ni biem. So okay say mo obi nkodi boni ni biem a we di boni no. The act has been committed. The act no waye. So you need to make sure there are recommendations and there are consequences to his actions. This is the same Shraj near to Akroma. And this lady, Francisca Oteng AJ Kwaku Timba Bawe 2019 COVID-19 CA. Now oya the board chair of NYE. Sama amiwe etna NYE meeting Emma yetumi the contract ma ne papa company Adonko Bites abra na oye shareholder in fact oye director ewo Adonko Bites na se unya abuta na wo hwese bi a Shraj a clear criminal. This is Francisca Otenje Kwaku tin ne banie kromfo kwabrefo omo MP and ohuna nenim ko ne nsachi tu mu aiso tonbidie ofri kumase abankran to no so obese obre. This lady committed a crime as the board chair of NYA. No, you are not supposed to do what? You are not supposed to even sit in a meeting. Yabo company, umpo 1% shares. She was or is a director of Adonko Bites. Otna NYA as board chair at the contract ma Adonko Bites almost 80,000 Ghana at the man papa company. Emma somewhere could be a Shraj. Now, what is conflict of interest? Enti bone ben also abawe we edi answer the who so we di bone. And this same Shraj found a way to clear the criminality of this young girl who through his father's... Okay. Shraj found a way. I can tell you people, Kwaku Oteng basically did everything possible for Shraj to clear his daughter. Wait. Abayuwa yedwa kwa abaymu, ye sika dewa kwa abaymu. Okoya, ne papa company ono ye share or ye director no, watam a contractor man papa company, technically, watam contractor man ho. Now so kind Shraj report now after this show tonight, I'll publish a Francisca Oteng time 2019 on any papa boo Ghana fast no. I'll publish the Shraj report. Now, what kind of report now? Shraj itself is telling us there was conflict of interest, but they don't care. This is Shraj. And I'll publish the full report from Shraj. Now we read it. Ubesu. This lady is supposed to be in jail. Se kwabiri fo mo to abama no senka sebio and your politics na say ya we edisen ko bia to abama so uncle representing no because she's a candidate for jail. Because bonina we no in Ghana in Bramuno, so what the board so you don't have to say the moment a year contractor some now your board papa din wom, your board papa company wom, your board a year BB pa winim obi an ne kwa sorry or you down for company say so company say 9 way your per say your mom contract now we sheba akuna say wo so for company woma edisa okay bi also sorry pie you vote edisa vote bi enisa open so if you say conflict of interest a year relationship with the person in T and man depending the money dangerous and say I don't go big test na board test na year money contract na osaya director wom and so Shraj catch say still it's not conflict of interest. Now report my mention kakribi wom kwabere for way mo dear mo now who read a year poladoma tra some went na me church my their Shraj continuously they have done to protect and they could for aside the minister Kromfo Bawi. Now the Danko Kufuado, their Shraj continuously they have done to protect criminals. Now, make sure you know. Okay, report now. Some part of the report. This is the genuine report. If you show where we publish it on loudsilencenews.com. Go there. It is there. Your Facebook page. Oh, we will publish it. We are not going to keep anything. This report has been around for some time. Me and I'm here story way, and I want you people to understand criminals are Shraj for protect you. There is the report. You can some small part me. Now share the definition and the way Shraj cleared Kwaku Oteng way. And our Ghana so over Pauska, Udi Boni and also Kuriadi and Yao down in Ghana. Now Francisca Oteng and Kasa Obuno and Obu Ghana for she should have even resigned and signed as Asabu Kwaku Shraj. And they could for aside the minister Kromfo Bawi. Now the Danko Kufuado as at a ministerial appointment position Ediama Francisca. Francisca what book chrono a NYA. Na ya chino no na Ekufuado asa kweti kwanso aklet was some ministerial appointment. Ede nkwasi aban na ebu ni sa no. Ade nto Kwaku Timba. Now you Kwaku Timba na e kromfo a. Eni gina me kache kwabrefo. If you bring this lady back, mutiati. Now my mention this is the report from
Yeti for ne yashofo ye de obira se mojebre emyeka mojebre me ekutie ene no. Na just ene na ekutie no. Ene na ekutie na ti for mom adventure o sent we hwe comment wa na the comment show. Na just ene na ekutie no na se Kelvin Tylor enkasa ye mu nyina se wo se eye MP eye Dr. Kwaku Oteng Bay we MP wona bo eye Efija Kwabre no wo se oja ne dwumadi to because of or involved in scandal which call for a say a call for a jail a call for jail according to Kelvin Tylor say or a jail candidate. They just say Assembly is very hot and serious and getting worse. Or say even crown or be publish a news no a loudsilencenews.com to me say remember no and same for so or can same for kanwa me sure say yenjibre na yensamo ransan sem no ninti ensama eye or kaka sa ensamo let me sure I daily update and then I will be the kind and as will be pima high daily update TV messi so MLB I am sure so obeka na wa share ya mo ransan no 10 na yen share your comment and to comment section ya me sure
Shraj I'm so mo ye mo hwehwe mu no in the matter of the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice Act 1993 Act 456. Na Usha Ishmael Mohammed onena ede assembly court shrage say Francisca Oteng ejeno watna adie bisua conflict of interest core or the contract man company COVID-19 time 2019 and Honorable Francisca Oteng Mensa and the assembly no ekopi shrage. Now me be me read some small part our shrage into the one who say atopol admocho no shrage clearing a thifu. It is a repetitive thing. It is what Shrage has been doing for the past 7 years. They clear criminals. That's what they are doing now. And that's what they could for. The boss of Shrage owns all the prime lands in Accra because majority of the people almost no man asase. The CEO, the boss of Shrage, he owns lands at prime places in Accra because as some sia or J in Sase no a passing nipa. I'm telling you. Mami ready kakre bi nchiramo. Me wi publish the whole report. Na mo hwe. Kwasi asema esi o Ghana no. Man sesa ba ya munya mba wo. Na hwe ade. Okọ report ni mu a. So am for ntina me say. Self-dealing. Nipa or the assembly call Shrage no or say there's something called conflict of interest. Baby out no na nkenisa wotena ho mema papa company wotena so why bone Ghana mbra no tene kafa ho. In fact, Usha point 3.2 or say self-dealings. A public official shall not take an action in an official capacity which involves dealing with himself, herself, in a private capacity and which confers a benefit on himself and herself. Enti emrane kire se oye nipa bia yato so aba anaya you na wodi aba adwumam anasa wodi nipa ni mu aba adwumam a eni se wutu anamo bia sebio anamo no ebebre den ebe benefitil anamo no at the end of the day ubenya ho mfaso. Francisca Oteng wait na meeting mu as board chair assign at the contract man papa company or no Francisca Oteng no director wom me yan simple amount. Similarly, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development OECD has defined conflict of interest in the public sector as generally and now officially the Economic Cooperation and Development OECD defining what conflict of interest is. Where you Shrage for report to now worldwide what has been sanctioned as conflict of interest. Shrage for an state you say a conflict of interest between the public duties and private interests of a public official in which the public official has private capacity interest which could improperly influence the performance of the official duties and responsibilities. Bro, for me kind nyina say oda adwuma no say oda aban adwuma no na se sebio omo ba betu anamon bi ana se omo ba bedi dwuma bi na se sa dwuma omo bedi no se obenya ho mfaso kobo ana se ohun nipa bi benya ho mfaso ana se sa dwuma die no se ebia omo ni company bi ana nipa kuo bi edin sa woso na se ohun oben sa nipa no ana oben kuo no ana se wo interest wo sa nkuo no ma the moment a obetena mu bi edi sa dwuma no se yemfa dwuma die we ma smesi yemfa dwuma die we ma ekuo we yemfa dwuma die we nyese na wo no wa commit emra we bumra so baby awotse no you have no right to do that. Francisca Oteng AJ na oya board chair of NYA. Time and not meeting us no na NYA for at the companies abegu table so sa companies we ye be ma omo contract na ne papa company adonko betes account na nyesa ne papa company nkwanka ho ne papa company na oya director wom the moment na paper na da ho no na sa girl we a board chair and o sign ye say yemfa contract ne ma ne papa company technically yemfa contract no ema no asem we akopie Shrage say omu conflict of interest. Now, Black Law Dictionary, 9th ed, also defines conflict of interest as Black Law Dictionary say, also conflict of interest. I'm defining the same. I'm say a real or seeming incompatibility between one's private interest and one's public or fiduciary duties. Inti omukrampo define here. Say one kasa kura no say we are chairman of Accra House of Folk. And now we are chairman of Asante Kotoko. Na se what board so na ye take decisions be a beboa company. And now huni pebia say your private life say your public life the moment I obenya ho faso and now huni pan enisa wutinem. The interest and very important. The interest. Now interest where na section saying send ye ebe ko wafa. So decision no muteki no says sika no kwa etuama adonko na amba Francisca Otieje wa Francisca Otieje papa nya sika no ebi oto bo fruit ma no ebi Francisca Otieje ni papa Kwaku ten editor eden asawa ema Francisca Otieje ba enti at that moment no there's conflict of interest no na yebusa enti strategy be ka kire say Francisca Otieje atenam asensan edisika ama ne papa na we nya ho interest bia. We are not talking about interest ayatam diom. Interest could be in different ways. Into the lady has benefited. She has benefited from her actions. And her actions went against the code of conduct. Her actions went against the laws of the land. She is supposed to be sacked and jailed. This is Shraj. Now, my mention report, So, say private interest is defined in guidelines to include private interest. I'm going to say a financial or other interest of the public officer and those of family members, relatives, personal friends, club and association, persons to whom the public officer owes a favor or is obligated. In the OSHA definition now, it fits in the many year and I get on year no. Ne papa ya ne papa. There is an interest there. Ne papa company. Ne papa company ho. So to no be good papa company on tias there is an interest there. Say ne papa adonko bites company no. Sebio omo bobo against the fankoba intellectuals. She will support adonko bites football club because the interest no. So that interest, it can lead her to change the law to favor his father. It's the interest we are talking about. And it's an paying 70,000. No, you move to Ghana at the top, Kelvin, at the Ma Francisca Oteng ejema. That is why we are cutting that interest off. She was supposed to be out. She was supposed to step away. She was supposed to recuse herself and tell the people on the board, me papa company will move into, I don't want to be part of this meeting. And so this girl sat in the meetings, signed the documents, and handed the money over to his father. And not just his father, a company that she's a beneficiary. Into a money papa company 70,000 as a director, technically, a woman 40,000. And this Shraj catcher say, Kwaku Timba ba Francisca Otieje did not commit a crime. And it's a Poladomoch address and in Namho. As we sit here in the Republic of Ghana, in Braben Ejuma, I mentioned my debut reporting. After this show, I will let my team publish the report. Now I will read it about time. Now, these are some of the things that a year Shraj for Troy. Now, nobody go kind of time. And this girl today is a minister. Girl, we a minister. This girl I can teach her. Bet much not them much that Francis Otieje. No, they know him. And then papa don't go yana. Yaji is in the parliament. And then Kwabere phone Sebio Yama politics ejimi entra. E dey na wako ote Kwabere wako school mu oni ebie se me koto aba ma Francis Otieje. E wo kwan be so. Die no Yama Kwabere fo. Mo kwan egu no. Ekufo ado sabe di matem. O da onenam Kwabere se me MP Francis Otieje. MP no obedi any policies obey mu na e ne papa. And all be protecting the interest to and your Kwabere for now or politics send your beya or beko ako make sure so we're protecting the papa into assembly bar or ne papa or agent to obey moi or be mano. That is why Kwaku needed his eye in the Kufuor's government. Francis Otieje and politics himself be boa Kwabere for now no politics not to be panato. Francis Otieje or politics no attend relationship for 1 year. Know what life is. And that is the reality. Kwabrefo, mo sorry ekoton kwasiaba ye de ewo 80,000. Moton kwasiaba munyam kwasia leaders. Ye ne ma santima vote pa na ote kwabere aye kwasia. Na sa girl we wodi mo so mfie nson. Tafre mok krofo bi mremo. Tafre mok. Now report in the binie. Conflicting financial interests. Me pe baby akirachiremo. When in a conflict of interest, let me find another portion of the report and read to you. And then some of the doors. Let me go to C. I mean, Oba see how baby or say. Quoting Article 284, the Constitution of the Constitution, 1992, respondent, no aid here, Oteng. Now, yes, Oteng, or Gigi Nyomabitum, because Shrage for a interview, no. Muntie. Quoting Article 284 of the Constitution, 1992, respondent stated that the relationship between herself and her father does not lend itself to a conflict of interest situation, but Shrage a quote conflict of interest. And Shrage in their quote, it clearly stated that Sawoti Jumam, Nasi Eka, Opa Juma Wasam, Oma Amia Juma Wasam, Wasorimpo, Ukwa, that moment I unim sanko fono. The money West says our interest room, and now we're director. Now that Hutinima, it is conflict of interest. It is about you and jet to Munim, our Shrage say, Ne Papa Ejuma Dieno, Sebio Onimubia. Why hasn't she committed conflict of interest? Shrage is basically a crime scene. What they are doing there, they are protecting criminals. Now, respondent stated that the relationship between herself and her father does not lend itself to a conflict of interest situation. She reiterated her non-involvement in the day-to-day administration of Angel Group of companies or its subsidiaries. Or say, at the Kudientia, almost say, almost interview a ye Franciscano, the Okachi say, Sebio, a ye relationship on any papa wano, and managing a conflict of interest. Now, the day-to-day running of Angel Group of companies, and I don't commit test, onimubi onko office debia enko sign, onko office debia enko ponchi in, onko office debia enko nanti was administrator, inti any conflict of interest. And Shrage said, this makes sense. Francis Oteng said, because our uncle I don't commit test office debia, uncle tripen and trotro, uncle be a windows, uncle be a flag, uncle be a chamber. Enko kase when ye juma wujina hano or see because on your side in inti obian to me kase wa committee conflict of interest and I try to say yes or see I mind say ye kase MPP for Jimmy MPP for say Ghana now to di me matem before me didn't can read the conflict of interest show Shrage and kase ni read it a chair they understand it in a different way me enko enim nam jujum uko enima or say. She added that she does not hold any executive or managerial position in any of the aforementioned companies. And so later, the document proved that she is a director of Adonko Bitters. She lied. Now, in her considered view, the instant case does not give rise to a conflict of interest situation, whether actual, real, or potential. She posed the question whether the board chair had any private interest of a relevant kind, which was part of the agenda for the board meetings, and stated that this question does not arise at all, considering the well-established fact that the board never considered any business relating to Adonko Bitters or its subsidiary companies owned by respondent and Mr. Kwaku Oteng, her father. Now, if she told a yes Shrage all these things, and through the investigations of Shrage,
it's a funny just no na yakoti no. These are the ways and as and shema a free era a Kelvin Tylor ho a buyer no. Na just said any abri pa na just scandal way there. It will get to a year a pointer a call a tripa because of what see or publish a year news no and as a document no out to a year News.com. Let just say T4. These are the ways and as a winning and some Kelvin Tylor a year a kind internet show say I deal up the TV so obe like na wa share no subscribe am your channel no na tembia na odo ni atrim about the news papa there you see daily update we give you the best. Show say T4 we stay connected na chese yen sema ye de ba no na se news ye de ba na majibre na onso mahwe bi na mahye na foforo enye bi ahwe ye mu ransasem sorry ya boy remti no me sure say mo jibre na mo stay tuned because there are more trendy news ever. Let me show.